Hey Gemini, how are we? I'm just doing our weekly reading. This week we are doing the monthly reading, okay? So looking at what's going on for you during December. So obviously a big month for everybody with Christmas and then, the finalization of this year, 2023. It's been crazy. Maybe that's just me, but it's a big month for a lot of people, okay? So it'll be very interesting to see what messages we are getting for you for December. Now, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. But this week we are I've got 3 decks here. So firstly, we've got the Oracle of the Fairies. I am using the Gilded Reverie lenormand, as well as that beautiful love oracle deck as well. Okay, so I do really love that particular deck. It's the True Love Oracle. Okay, so a beautiful deck with some beautiful imagery. So we've got lots of pretty images on our cards this week. All right, so getting into it for you, Gemini, I'm going to start with the Oracle of the Fairies, and I feel like I need to grab 2. Okay, so we're going to split the month in half, okay, because we've got Christmas and New Year's right at the end of December, so we sort of want to see what we're going into the month with, and then how we're sort of finishing the month and the year off as well. Okay, Gemini, what's going on for our Geminis in December? Okay, so firstly, for the start of the month, we have the protection energy there. So the fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking on any spiritual work. Okay, so at the start of December, you may actually be needing the need to do some spiritual work for yourself here, and it's sort of reminding you to protect yourself when you are doing so. Okay, so really, really shining onto you that there is protection around you on an energy level. You are very protected going into December. So, I'm kind of feeling too that there may be something to do with, preparing for Christmas, protecting yourself against things like overspending on gifts and whatnot. So, protect your budget, protect your, I'm just getting this, I'm just getting sort of told things about, like coming up to Christmas, you do start to hear things about, people breaking into houses and stealing all the gifts, that sort of a thing. So I'm getting shown that there's a strong need for you to be very aware of, what protections you do have in place on a physical level as well. All right. So making sure when you're out shopping that you've got your handbag nice and close to your body, or whatever that is for you. It doesn't need to be a handbag, of course. But those sorts of things, protecting your PIN information when you're using your credit cards, those, I'm just getting that financial sort of protection of your gifts here. Making sure that you make a bit of a list of how much you're going to spend on each person, and making sure you're sticking to that, so that you're not overspending either. All right, but I'm going to grab your Lenormand there before we move over to the end of the month. Okay, Gemini, what's going on for Gemini during December, the start to the middle of December for Gemini? Okay, so overall, a lot of happiness to be had here. We do have the Sun card coming out first. So, overall, there is a lot of happiness looking forward to Christmas and the New Year. There's a lot of happy moments to be looking forward to here. But there is this strong element. It's coming straight back through with that protection that we saw with that oracle. So, there's some things being revealed to you, or possibly coming to light for you during the start of December here, about your need to be really, really clever, and maybe trickster type energy. We have the fox coming through there, so that's like that trickster type energy. So but this is you being very clever and cunning with the way that you're looking after things and taking care of yourself, protecting yourself here, because we do also have the bear, which is all about protection. Okay, so once again, that, like I said, that protection coming through very, very strongly for you, Gemini, that there's some things coming to light about maybe why you're needing to protect yourself, why you're needing to sort of, with the fox, it can really talk about, playing your cards right, playing, like, because it can talk about that player type energy, but it's coming through in a different manner, like playing your cards right, playing the hand that you want. It's coming through with just that, being really clever and looking at your own survival here, and what's best for you, and being very independent and self-sufficient, with the way that you're doing things. I'm feeling for a lot of you, this is financially, it does really vibe, of connected to your abundance and your finances. It can also sort of be about telling people what they want to hear, so maybe not telling someone the whole truth, nothing but the truth, but telling them what they need to hear to sort of move on with that issue, or whatever it may be. Because it is a little bit of a salesman type energy. So, there is this element too that maybe you need to protect against those type of people, like those salesmen who are only telling you what you want to hear. I always get shown that image of like the stereotype of the car salesman, where they're trying to sell you a lemon. And so they'll, really work up the really good qualities. Oh, this car will be great for you, but they forget to tell you about the clunking in the bonnet and the, all the other issues with the car. And then, a month down the track, you're realizing, they've pulled the wool over your eyes and sold you a lemon. So maybe being careful of that sort of stuff, especially when we're, buying gifts and investing in, anything monetary there. Just be very wary that you're not just hearing what you want to hear. Make sure you are, being very smart about anything like that, and checking the fine details, checking that fine print, and making sure there's no underlying things that you're not being told about on the surface. So it's really, protecting yourself in that sort of sense. And like I said, with that bear, it's all about protection, okay? So it is a very protective, nurturing kind of energy there. It's you being very strong and standing in your power, keeping your boundaries very firm. Your boundaries are coming through strongly with both of these cards as well. So, we're seeing with the sun there, they're coming to light that you do need to have strong boundaries. You do need to protect yourself on a few different levels, I feel, for some of you there. But it's also important to remember with that bear that, we can protect ourselves without getting defensive against others. We still need to be, letting people in. But once again, with that boundaries, keeping your boundaries firm, letting people in, yes, but not allowing them to sort of walk all over you type of energy there. Okay, so at the start of the month there, we are seeing just a strong need for you to protect yourself. All right. But moving on to the middle and end of December, we do have the pure intention. Beautiful card there. The fairy of manifestation will help you to use your wishes wisely. Manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. Okay, so this is one of those cards where, it can be very, very tempting to wish badly on others, kind of be like, oh, I hope so-and-so gets bad karma for doing that bad thing. But at the end of the day, that just invites more bad karma back upon yourself. So it's really all about making sure that your intentions are actually pure, that if you are wishing things for others, that you're doing so in a loving way. You're coming from love and peace and honesty, rather than, resentment or anything like that. I am just sort of getting shown, somebody doing like black magic kind of stuff. So it's not going to be a very good time for you to be doing those sorts of things, involving yourself in anything where, the universe is going to lash back out at you for not having a pure heart when you're putting these manifestations out into the world. But we do see that, if you are able to, stick to the loving side of things and stick to the pure intentions there, that you will be able to manifest and you will see a lot of your wishes starting to come true. So it's just making sure that, you're wanting those wishes for pure intentions, not just because, oh, I need $1 million to, pay off this bribe or something. I'm just getting to go and buy, um, you know, go and waste it basically. But, oh, my intentions are pure. I need it to do this and that. And I would, $1 million, I would definitely be able to actually start this business helping others and those sorts of things. So as long as your intentions are pure and you've got your own highest good and the highest good of, the world, the universe in mind, there you will find a lot of those desires will be able to be manifested toward the end of the month. Okay, so make sure when any parties over the end of the month, make sure your intentions are just to have fun. Don't have intentions of I've got to show up that person. I've got to I've got to act a certain way or anything like that. Just focus on having fun and light-hearted energy when it comes to parties. I'm getting there as well. Okay. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini middle to end of December, please? Okay, Gemini. Firstly, we do have the cuckoo clock image there. So this is all sort of there is a couple of timing cards in this deck, and this one is all about a very fast pace. Which it is the full moon in Gemini at the moment as well. So it is actually quite a time where things do sort of start happening really, really quickly and snowballing. And it's like, something that you've done down here, all of a sudden it clicks on through all these different gears, or all, one thing is shifting these other things. And, all of a sudden we've got this result of, you've done something down here and all of a sudden there's a bird popping up out here. So it's kind of like that fast-paced energy. So I'm feeling that for some of you, there may be a lot of frenetic sort of action towards the relationships around you. We have the ring there as well. So it's kind of like you're trying to speed up the way that relationships are happening. You're trying to, be part of the cogs that make this relationship work. It's coming through a bit unclear there. I will get some clarity on that, but we do also see the house energy at the end of the month there. So, I do feel that for quite a lot of you, that's talking about family relationships. So there's this sort of frenetic, fast-paced energy when it comes to the family relationships, and maybe for some of you, there's going to be like a rush to get home, to to get to the family house, to so for some of you it's kind of I am getting that some of you may actually be experiencing some sort of maybe a delay or something that is, leaves you feeling rushed at the last minute when it comes to, Christmas get-togethers or New Year's Eve get-togethers. You may be sort of rushing around at the last minute to, get these things done because you don't you don't want to let your side of things down. Um, you don't want your cog to sort of fly out of the machine. You want to, that you're an integral part of this machine. So I do feel that for quite a lot of you, if you do have issues wondering, whether you are integral part of that machine, you definitely are. The relationships are coming through as quite strong, and you're really wanting to just be stable and secure within the family unit. I feel here, and it feels as though you're an integral part of that. And if we lose the cog of you, Gemini, all of a sudden that machine's just going to sort of explode without you. So there may be something that you're being relied on for when it comes to Christmas or the New Year's sort of family get together type stuff. I'm getting pretty strongly that for a lot of you it is to do with like some sort of family get together, with that house card being representing sometimes that family home, and we are seeing the ring representing those relationships with those people within that unit. But we're kind of seeing you rushing around. So, you make sure we're prepared to avoid that sort of last minute dash energy that, but I just feel that with that card there, that there may be something sort of that you're unprepared for happening, and all of a sudden last minute you're having to rush around and get that sorted. So like all of a sudden finding out so-and-so can't make the mashed potatoes. Now you need to make the mashed potatoes. Finding out someone is bringing someone extra along to a gathering, and all of a sudden you've got to find extra place settings and maybe even an extra gift and all this sort of stuff. So, be sure you're prepared for those sorts of eventualities, especially things like, extra gifts. You just make sure you've got an extra gift tucked away that could sort of suit anybody, so that you've got that on hand ready to go if that you are faced with something along those lines. So there is something coming. I feel like for a lot of you that's just something very last minute, some last minute change. There may even be a last minute change within the family dynamics, the relationships around the family. So, someone may have a fight the day before Christmas, and all of a sudden Christmas Day is just like trying to deal with these people that are, sitting there glaring at each other over the table. So it could be those sorts of things as well. All right, but overall feeling relatively positive, just a need to really protect yourself coming into December here. But we'll have a look at love specifically for you, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what's going on in love for Gemini through December 2023? Okay, so I've got a few things here. An extra card actually came out too. But firstly, we have that manifestation. So once again, that reminder of the pure intentions. Okay, so definitely able to really run with some manifestations. Manifesting those things that you do desire within love, but making sure we're keeping our intentions pure. Because when it comes to love, especially, you can't make someone love you through nefarious means, and in all honesty you wouldn't want that anyway. If you knew someone only loved you because they were sort of guilted into it or bribed into loving you, it wouldn't actually be love. So making sure we do have pure of heart when it comes to manifesting what we want when within love. Okay, I'm also seeing forgiveness. Okay, it does say, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. So, if there's certain things you need to forgive yourself, especially too, maybe for one or two of you, you realizing that you have been manifesting things without that pure intention, that you maybe have been trying to manifest things without taking that into mind, and manifesting things from a place of hurt or some other sort of resentment type feeling. So forgiving yourself for doing that, if that's the case for you, maybe needing to forgive somebody around you. Once again, I feel like for one of you, this is that, you may need to forgive someone within your family to, get a bigger step in that family relationship sense of security and stability within the family relationship. So for one or two of you, that is, forgiving somebody within the family unit, someone that you sort of love within your family unit. Okay, so that's just one or two of you though. Overall though, we do see here, we do have the divine masculine, and it did actually come out with the love card. Okay, so I feel that for majority of you, this is something brand new at the end of December popping on up. So it may be that New Year's Eve kiss, that type of thing. But there's love there. There's a lot of love there. Love is all about, unconditional love, but also self-love. Okay, so, the divine masculine doesn't necessarily talk about another person. It can quite often talk about, the more masculine elements of you yourself, that chaos within, the part of you that's very sort of reserved and withdrawn from emotion, and loving and forgiving those sides of yourself, in order to move forward in a much more pure intention way, to love yourself completely. All right, but for a couple of you, or maybe even more than that, this is somebody brand new popping up, and they're already evolved, and they've already got, love in their heart to spare for you, Gemini. So you may be sort of having a whirlwind romance at the end of December here. I'm just feeling that for quite a few of you. For some of you, that may be about forgiving a masculine. All right, doesn't necessarily talk about their gender when I say masculine. Once again, we're just seeing somebody who is very much, an authoritative type figure, a powerful, type person. Sometimes it can be a boss type energy, that kind of thing too. Somebody who's just embodying that, non-emotional, the logical side of themselves, and in a divine way. So they've sort of controlled their own chaos, and they're very in control of their emotions and whatnot as well. But there is a lot of love to share and spare for and with this person. Okay, so I feel as though this person definitely has a lot of love to give, and for majority of you, they're going to be wanting to give that love to you, and we do see the divine masculine rather than the unevolved masculine. So I would be very confident in this person being a really good choice, when it comes to love as well. So it's all about you, forgiving anything that needs to be forgiven, whether that be others or yourself, and making sure we're manifesting that divine, manifesting that in a very pure way, and we will see the divine answering back. Okay, so that's what we have for you this week, Gemini. Please feel free to check your other placements, of course, but hopefully I'll see you all again soon.